Welcome to the third lesson in my intermediate English series. Today we're going to talk about education, and you're going to learn how to talk about your education in English, no matter what country you're from. This can be useful for interviews, for English speaking exams, and also just in general conversation with your colleagues or with friends. Okay, as usual, let's get started with the conversation. Where did you go to school? I went to school in Ireland. What age do you start school in Ireland? Most kids start at 5 years old, but before that many kids go to kindergarten, nursery school or preschool, though it's not obligatory. And after that? Well, after that we have primary school, which lasts until 12 or 13 years old. In primary school, the children are called pupils. Then we have secondary school until the ages of about 17 or 18. But in other countries, like in the US, the system is a little bit different. You have elementary school, middle school and high school. In Ireland, the school year is divided into 3 terms. But in other countries, it's divided into 2 semesters. Do you have an exam at the end of secondary school? In Ireland, students sit an exam called the Leaving Certificate, which is quite logical, right? Because you're leaving school. However, in other countries, it's called the GCSEs, the A-levels, or the SAT exams. And you need to do these exams if you want to go to university. How easy is it to pass your Leaving Certificate? It's not that easy. A percentage of your marks are assessed throughout the final 2 years, which is called continual assessment. And after that, you have to study a lot to pass the final exams. What were your favorite subjects in school? I loved geography, history and French. Did you have to wear a uniform? Yes, in Ireland, all primary and secondary schools have to wear uniforms. But that's not the case in other countries. For example, in France, where I'm living, the kids don't have to wear uniforms at all. Were your teachers strict in school? No, not really. Most of them were pretty cool, but you always have some teachers who don't stand for any kind of disruption. And other teachers are more tolerant when students misbehave. Is school free in Ireland? In Ireland, like in many countries, the school system is primarily public, so it's state funded and free. But there are private schools where the parents have to pay. And there are also boarding schools, which are normally private, where the students sleep and eat also. What about university? Is that free? So for EU or European Union residents, there are no tuition fees for universities in Ireland for undergraduate programs. However, there are annual fees, like registration fees that you have to pay, that can be quite expensive. That can go up to 2,000 or 3,000 euros. But I hear in countries like the US and Australia that tuition fees can be really, really expensive and require students to take out loans in order to pay for their study. And once you get a job after college or after university, that's when you start paying back the loan. Is it hard to get into third level education? In Ireland, it really depends on what you want to study. If you want to become a doctor or a lawyer or something like that, you almost have to get perfect marks in your high school exam. However, for other courses like arts or marketing, it's a little easier. But overall, if you study hard, you'll pass your exams and get the course of your choice at university. Would you recommend studying in Ireland? Well, I really enjoyed my time in school and at university in Ireland. However, these days I know it can be very expensive for students because of the rising cost of living. In terms of the educational level in Ireland, I believe Ireland is up there with the best. We have fantastic universities, technical colleges, professors, and also the Irish people are great. Now repeat after me, and wherever there's a gap, put your own answer in. I went to school in Ireland. I started school at 5 years old. I went to kindergarten before starting primary school. We have to do a lot of exams in high school. You have to study hard to pass your exams in Ireland. I didn't misbehave in school. My teachers were very strict. They gave us lots of homework. There are no tuition fees for universities in Ireland. If you go to a private school, it can be very expensive. If you want to become a doctor or a lawyer or something like that, you have to get top marks in your exams. Do you remember this? But overall, if you study hard, you'll pass your exams and get the course of your choice at university. Today, we're going to talk about the first conditional and some future time clauses. We use if plus the present tense to talk about possible situations, and will plus the infinitive to talk about possible consequences of these situations. Your teacher will be angry if you're late for class. What will you do if you don't pass your exams? You can use the if clause first or second in the sentence. It's also possible to use an imperative or can instead of will in the other clause. If you are not able to pay the tuition fees, you can take out a loan. If you're late for school, don't make excuses, just say sorry. You can also use unless instead of if. He won't be able to study medicine unless he gets good grades. The schools will close unless it stops raining. I won't get to school on time unless I get up early. Now let's talk about using future time clauses with the first conditional. When we use the following words when talking about the future, it's always followed by the present simple. When, until, before, after, as soon as, and once. Here are some example sentences to show you what I mean. Don't choose your course until you are sure you know what you want to do. When the results are posted, it doesn't matter what you get. You should still celebrate. As soon as you get into university, you need to start looking for accommodation. Now, all that's left to do is try the quiz to see how much you've learned throughout this lesson. So much for participating in my intermediate lesson series. I hope you enjoyed that one. Click like if you liked this video and subscribe so that you're sure to be notified when I post another video in this series. Thanks and see you all next week.